Hey everyone, welcome back to your weekly dose of automation content. Apologies again, I haven't had a chance to work on my Tibron. I got a steal of a deal last week on a snowblower because my current one is kind of ancient. It's over 30 years old. And I managed to get a steal of one on Facebook Marketplace, and I spent basically the whole weekend working on it, and I finally got it completely back to working condition after some parts came in tonight. So I spent too much time on that, and also just generally catching up on things before winter. Here in Canada, winter is serious business, so you gotta be ready for it, and I think I'm getting closer to being ready, but we're not there yet, so gotta dedicate time to that maintenance. That being said, last week I made this glass automation car. It is made out of glass, at least in theory. The actual body material is carbon fiber. It's just painted like glass because that's just the logic of this game. So it's not as heavy as glass should be. It doesn't make total sense. But today I'm going to commit to something that I thought about last week. And I'm going to commit hard because we're going to be making this car out of cast iron. Now, as most of you are aware, cast iron is a brittle material. It is not good for creating vehicles out of. It's just not meant for motion, in my opinion. Cast iron is used for things like pipes, decorations, those steel benches that you see. It's actually a very common building material, but not really good for this type of thing. That doesn't matter, though. Neither is glass. I'm just going with it. Cast iron theme, boys. Steampunk, let's do it. So this is a clone of that car, and I pretty much intend to change only the things that matter. Also, these wheels have got to go because they're just way too sloppy. They don't work in beamng.drive, so we're going to be doing some very cast iron themed wheels too. In order to get this right, you can probably see there's no actual cast iron in here. We're just going to do steel. And the reason for that is just to try and get the weight where it should be. I mean, treated steel might be better, but the weight is the same. We don't need any corrosion resistance because cast iron is very not corrosion resistant. Still doing monocoque, but I'm gonna do steel again, so it's all rusty boy from here on out. Just in the weight alone, we're now up to 2,602 kilograms from 2,083, so it's like a 600 kilo increase in weight. But I'm not done. My theme for this car is heavy. I want it to be heavy, to feel heavy, and just generally more weight is better, so that's what I'm gonna do. Everything here can stay the same. She's all steel, that's fine. The panel colors and stuff are pretty darn important, so let's color it up. This diamond color here is going to be changing to painted iron. There is a cast iron one that has a different sort of texture on it. That is very, very rough. I'm gonna have to adjust that because it just looks like it's made out of bubble wrap, cling wrap maybe. I'm going to avoid the mod ones and just go straight for the automation version of this painted iron, and that way it can have a hue as well. Also, we get stuff like paint roughness and such. Roughness can be extremely high or extremely low. It probably needs to be high, otherwise it's just going to look terrible. I think that looks decent. Like, that looks like a piece of metal. Yeah, look at this. Look at that texture. That's perfect. And I'm just not going to have any paint on it. It's going to be straight up cast iron. There is a bunch of other stuff here as well. I can do world space texture enabling here. Dirt, cast, speckles. Could we do like an orange hue on it? Oh, it's rusty now. Just like a slight rust tone to it, I think is perfect. Okay, that's what it's going to be. Cast iron. Is this going to turn out well in beamng? Probably not. Does it matter? Not particularly. Okay, instead of fully committing to the glass thing like I did last time, I do want to give it some other touches here. I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to keep the trim this color as well. The undercarriage is also currently carbon fiber, and this stuff is chrome. Chrome is just not going to happen. It has to be, like, this is just not going to work, so say goodbye to that. For now, I'm just going to experiment and just sort of color everything this. Maybe we can do this only in like a darker shade or something to have some contrast. Maybe that's the best call. Rusty cast iron exhaust. Isn't that just cool stuff? I think it's cool. Okay, so I'm going to do the undercarriage in a black version of this, and you can see the wheels are now textured that way too, because I am indeed going to do black cast iron wheels. This is that color. This is that like dark cast iron color. And this one, we don't need that. I think for the exhaust, I'm just going to have a sort of basic steel, and it's just going to be like a dark steel color, and that'll be that. But this one is here. There we go. That's a lot of commitment to this, and we have sort of a black painted steel that goes in the underside there, so that'll sort of hide things away. But you can see forefront is the cast. How many times am I going to end up saying cast iron in this video? It's going to be aggressive. So I'm going to do the trim in black, but not this sort of back trim here. I think that needs to be the same as the rest of the car, just with this very obvious theme that I have going on here. The chassis is currently this, but I'm going to actually make it this, so it should be cast, as all things should be. There you go. That's a pretty weird looking car, but I think it's going to be darn sweet. I'm excited to see where this goes. Now, continuing. First things first, I mean, this car already drives decent. We're actually going to keep the engine the same, but I do have some things I'm going to do with it that are going to change it up a little bit. Going over here again, I'm going to keep pretty much all of this stuff the same. I'm over in wheels very purposefully because these wheels are just gigantic and they're way too big. I'm going to drop her down to like 20s. I know that's a lot of sidewall, but it needs to function. Maybe 22s. I know it doesn't look as good, but we'll get there. Now, steel rims, of course. Now, it would be easy for me to send this off as is and say, hey, look, it's cast iron now. This is the cast iron car, but that's not far enough for me. I want to do more than that. So I'm going to go ahead and change the engine from a magnesium block to a cast iron block. And that doesn't actually... Oh, I actually lost a little bit of power there. So this is a slightly detuned version of the previous car now because of the cast iron, unfortunately, which is hilarious because it's also a lot heavier. That being said, I have a feeling it'll actually work better in this area than it would previously. And I'm going to design it. I'm actually going to give it a full go over here. We've got our paint, we got all our stuff, but it needs fixtures. It needs some stuff that sort of vibes with this aesthetic that I'm going for. One of the things I was thinking about is these sort of like steel wheels. I think it'd be just darn cool to have these on this car. Again, does it make any sense? No, it doesn't matter though. I'm just doing what I want to do. These side pipes are actually sweet, and I feel that just with a little bit of adjustment, they are pretty much perfect for this car still, so there you go. Side pipes engaged. But they can't be chrome, obviously. Starting off basic, I've given her some mirrors because that's what we all need here to be able to see backwards and realize that this car was a mistake. I'm thinking about these sort of door handles. It looks like camouflage. It looks like winter/desert camo, this thing. But fancy door handles. This is supposed to be a hypercar at the end of the day. It's a funky, like, Bugatti-esque weird thing, so I'm down with that. Now, we can't see our cool engine anymore, which is unfortunate, so I might have to change things around a little bit. I want to be able to see that thing in there. I'm telling you, I will tell you a million times, Mitsubishi wins. Look at this. These cutouts are timeless, like there's just no other thing about it. I wonder what I'm modeling this car after. This makes it a little bit more obvious, although not really. That's not really the point here. So I kind of want to use this car as an experiment just to see what I can get away with in terms of design, because that's what the fun part about this game is just making some absolute whack garbage and then posting it online for people to make fun of me. No, but more just experimenting and having fun. Like, why not? There's a lot of new headlights, a lot of new stuff in here, and I'm excited to get into it. So let's try some dumbness and just see how it goes. My first kind of intuition was, why not try some like awkwardly rectangular lights? Just kind of blow them up a little bit too much, make them a little big. Oh, that's funky. That is so weird. I don't hate it. That actually really screams Bugatti to me. I am uncultured. Check that out. Now that is an improvement. That is just cool stuff. Now, I want to expand on this as well. I have another idea. You're not going to like it. After so many years of playing of one game, you kind of just start doing stuff, and that's where I'm at. That is exactly where I'm at. What the heck is this? I actually don't hate it that much. It's not great. I need to change some stuff in here, but it's not that bad. It actually is pretty decent. Let's put some logos on her. There, I made them a little bit less obvious, but they're still kind of obvious, so yeah, that is a funky looking car. I really like it. Let me continue. I'm not done. Boys, you want to know something real dumb? I just thought, I was looking at the car and I'm like, did I never adjust the intercooler size? And I've just adjusted the intercooler size, and she's almost got 4,000 horsepower now. So, okay, well, now it has 4,000 horsepower. Let's just put that up all the way. 4,100 horsepower. What, like, what was I doing? All that time last video, I never adjusted the intercooler. What the heck? Okay, well, we got some juice now. That is a lot of power, and it's back to design. This is what got me thinking about that. I'm like, I have 4 turbos and a supercharger, and I never adjusted the intercooler size. What was I doing? I don't think anybody even pointed that out. That's like shocking. People will always point that stuff out. Well, I guess I should be happy. Let's put 2 of these on. Isn't that just darn cool hanging out from underneath the car? Twin intercoolers. Man, oh man. Cool stuff. Okay, not done. The mirror function seems to be working about 20% of the time at the moment. Oh, there it goes. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's a new little bug I just noticed with the latest build of this game. Now, I'm doing some funky stuff because that's just what I do, and I was thinking about something, and this is a lesson that I've only really learned recently. That it's okay, this is this is a little bit jank. This is some pretty whack stuff, trying to do wipers like that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I could just do wipers like that. I mean, that's also a possibility. The thought that I had though was one that I am, at least I was particularly bad at, and that is when you're trying to be creative with something, just don't worry about what people think about it. Just kind of do it, get it done, and then take the criticism, and hopefully constructive criticism. But when you're in the midst of designing something, just let those ideas happen. Just make something whack. Just do something dumb, like put 2 wipers like this. Like, that doesn't even cover the majority of the windshield. Just do something dumb. Put lights in the grill. Why not? Just do it and see what it looks like. Try it. It's much better to at least try it than to just not do it for the sake of trying to appease others. I have made that mistake a million times, because you'll never let those creative juices really get flowing if you're always worried about what other people think of you. Just give it a try, see what it turns out like, and if it doesn't work, at least you tried. Sound good? That's the way I've been thinking about things these days, especially my Tibron. I've been afraid to modify it, I've been afraid to do things, but at some point, you just gotta do it. You just gotta modify it. Take that step. It's just a car, like, at the end of the day. Can always get another one. Okay, front end done. Funky, weird, definitely interesting, sort of side profile stuff. It doesn't look too bad. Back end, I'm sort of experimenting and trying some new things. I think I'm going to leave this one spoilerless, and it's not going to have a front lip. Yeah, I'm just trying something new. I kind of have this idea, much the same with the Mitsubishi front end, that the Dodge Charger slash Challenger, I guess this is most of the modern Dodge products over here, these are Challenger parts. This stuff just tends to work with everything. Like, this is kind of a modern vehicle. It's fairly modern, at least. It's supposed to be. It's attempting to be. It's supposed to be a hypercar, which means it's going to have some whack stuff. But I find, like, most hypercars do take inspiration from things. It's not like they come up with all this stuff on their own. So to have a Dodge Challenger style rear end on a hypercar would not shock me. Oh, that could be funky. That could be very weird. What about something like that? It just looks sad. It looks so sad. Oh, poor little guy. Who hurt you? Actually, it was me, so I shouldn't say that. Now, let me make it worse. See, it doesn't even look like a Dodge Charger or Challenger rear end now. It's very unique looking and very funky. Now, the back end of this is way too monolithic. There's just way too much stuff there, way too much material. I find that with the Tiburon too. It's just too, like, bulbous at the back. You gotta cut that sucker down, and that's why I plan to cut the back end of it, which I will try to do on this car too. Now, the way that I do that is kind of janky. It's probably not a good way to do it, let's be real honest, but we might be able to fit some stuff like this or these rear vents and get aggressive with it if I can do it right. Basically, you go into bodybuilding and grab yourself this one right here, and go to town. That's it. Now this stuff is pretty funky. It doesn't always work super well. It's also best to unlock it so you can kind of move it freely. It works best when you do it in blocks. Also, if you lose it, you can use the arrows to find it. So I kind of want to cut it right at that line. Very, very aggressive cut. I don't know if that's actually going to look good or not, but I'm going to give it a try. And then as we expand these out, you notice it sort of curves up. That's where you got to be careful of with these. That is an incredibly aggressive bumper cut, although I don't know if it's sustainable. Next we can grab that, duplicate, and sort of try to get the wheels cut as well. Easy way to do that, just sort of shrink this down. It's going to be close. And did I do it? Yes, sir. That's a cut and a half. That is a full bumper cut. Done just the way I like it. But now there's a lot missing there. There's just nothing in the back, so gotta do some work to fill it in. This is basically my game plan for my Tiburon as well. I want to cut it real hard, but this needs to be filled. It's gotta look decent. So easy way to do that. Just going back here, again, race car parts, rear vent. I think this will work. What do you think about that? Does that kind of fill it in a little bit? It's pretty darn whack, but I'm struggling to get this thing to fit quite right. It's darn close, but it's not quite there. It's hard to get this thing to line up, especially without cutting into the wheels. However, now that is a funky looking car. Now, I'm reconsidering this exhaust. Holy smokes. Now, if that is not the coolest exhaust you've seen in a while, you've been seeing some crazy exhausts. Absolutely legendary. I gotta try this stuff. I just gotta do it sometimes, you know? Just do something stupid. Just see what it turns out like. And then if it's really that bad, I can always get rid of it. There it is. That is just so cool. There you go. The car is done, I think. That's pretty weird and cool, and it's got an absolutely whack section over here. I'm gonna just sort of pretend that it's a rear, like, cooler for no reason. It doesn't even need to be, but it's just cool. Okay, I ended up disliking that idea. So we're here, we're there, it's done. Okay, let me see if anything needs to change in terms of the gearing and stuff, because now it has 1,000 more horsepower. Well, 500 more horsepower than it did before. Of course it does. I mean, I could just really commit and make everything cast on the inside, but you know what's going to happen? It's going to blow up and then die, and there's no way it's going to make 4,000 horses, so we'll keep it simple. The engine will be cast block, but it will not be cast internals. Those are hiding away from me. Everything else is going to be good, though. Honestly, I can't believe I missed the intercooler size before. That was really stupid. I am just going to do this. It lost a little bit of power, but it's too loud, okay? It's way too loud. There we go. We increased the exhaust size and got that power back. And more, actually. Hold on. All right, here's a listen to it, just for your own ears and heart. Yeah, it still sounds like a vacuum cleaner, which is not exactly surprising. Everything else, though, gonna stay the same. Over here, I feel like something is gonna break. Okay, so it's like 605 top speed, pretty darn good. Weight distribution is a lot more to the back, so I'm gonna put 60-40 split. I think everything else here is fine. Pretty decent overall. The tires are as big as they can get. It's also extremely low, obviously. I'm also gonna raise this ride height just a touch, just because I had a lot of issues in beamng last time and I don't want to do that again. Big wheels though is fun, so let's do it. Yeah, I don't really care about braking or stopping, it's all good. Everything here is fine. It actually has downforce. All good. Doesn't need back seats. Oh, optimize the weight. Heavy. And I think I'm happy with that. It's 1,000 kilos heavier. That's crazy. That's like 2,500 extra pounds. Or like 2,400 math conversions. It's late. Don't worry about it. This thing rips hard. Let's see it in beamng.drive. Get ready. Let's hope it works. Funky looking thing though, especially in the back. What do you think about this? Decent? Oh my goodness, it turned out pretty jank. That's awkward, but at least the wheels actually function, at least on startup. Let's see. I mean, it actually has mufflers now, so it's not extremely deafening, but the brown color is unique, that's for sure. I guess BeamNG does not have anything to go with cast iron or rusty metal, other than their own stuff, I guess. It would be funny to make this thing entirely out of rust, though. Maybe that's the next video. Holy smokes, this is the best version of this car by a long shot. Just because the glass version does not have functional wheels, but now I get to actually experience this engine at its fullest. In sport mode too. Let me just go into sport mode ESC as well. Oh, probably one of the most responsive engines I've ever made. With all this turbocharging, all this power. I realized I completely forgot to give this thing an interior, which I will have to do next week. This is the Elements car, apparently. Okay. Just for a quick little drag strip run, let's see it. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay, rear tire deflated. Too much boost off the start line. Yeah, okay, that is not gonna work. Let me try again. See, one of the things that actually gives us an advantage is that by being heavier, it's a lot more reliable. I don't know. Very light cars in BeamNG, when they are from automation that transfer into BeamNG, just don't work well. Heavyweight champions, though, not bad. Let's give this one a rip without that build-up and see if it blows the rear tire again. That's only 40% on the rears. The hilarious part of this is the front tires are narrower than the rears, and it's 60% power up front. That's a lot better. Before the end of this, and I don't think I'm spinning wheels at this point, I was pretty close to 500 kilometers an hour at the end of the drag strip there. Insane. So cool. Also, I have managed to get myself out of the map. Or at least into the tunnel. Oh. Well. Yeah, you don't think you're supposed to be here. Oh, that was a good flick. Man, oh man, this car is too much fun. Well boys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I've had some fun with this. I know it's the same formula I usually do, just build and drive, but I like it and that's why I've been doing it for years. More automation videos to come, more IRL stuff to come too, more whack builds like this one to come. Maybe I should have put brakes on it. I have so much project stuff on the go right now. In real life, I'm just jammed. Working full-time, 2 kids, project stuff, just too busy. But things are getting done and my plate is getting a little emptier. This winter, I'm hoping for a chill winter, not just in the temperatures, but in the work department. Just hanging out in my garage, working on stuff. That's the goal, that's the dream. And yeah, I'm actually gonna set up a whole reading corner for my kids, specifically so they can hang out with me. It's gonna be good. I'm very excited about it. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, boys. Thank you for sticking around. See you again soon. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon, check out my YouTube memberships. I don't really shout those out anymore. However, they are still there, so thank you for your support. If you watched this far in the video, then that's already crazy enough. Thank you for that. Thank you for being here. So, thank you everybody. See you again soon. More crashing into mountains. Hopefully not in real life. This car is too much fun. I think I need to make more versions of it. What do you think?